So at first glance, yesterday, Saturday, doesn't look too different from any other day. Went a little bit over on net carbs and fat, and then possibly, overestimated how much I really took in, but I'd rather overestimate than underestimate. Yeah, so over half of what I took in yesterday was liquid in some form, whether it's just straight water or seltzer drink, pineapple water, things like that. And I mean, I had a real meal, had a lamb chop and the very last of my new pasta salad, which was a real trooper. Made it March 20th, made it to April 10th. It lasted 21 days. I was not expecting that, but it did great. Still tasted great in the end. But yeah, yesterday was a good day. And had that one big snack of popcorn, and I think that was it. Oh, and the biltong I had last night. That was it. So it was almost an overnight day. Could have been if I hadn't went for the snack. But overall, a decent eating day. Activity has greatly gone down. Partly because I'm a bit lazy, and in other words, because I'm sick. I'm feeling better now, but I'm still feeling bad. On top of that, I have all these back pains now. Like, I always have some form of back pain. It was getting better. But now it just feels like there's like 3 knives sitting in my back. So I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to take Aiden to the park. We're going to do one lap and let her play at the playscape. Because she's been stuck in the house the past few days. She needs to get out and get some fresh air and do something. So usually there's nobody there this time of day, so we should be good. Yeah, my ketones are deciding to recede a little bit. That's probably because of the popcorn and only the popcorn, for what I'm guessing. Blood glucose went up by 1, so it's like I'm not even sweating that. That's probably not even due to the carbs, but more so due to me eating right before going to sleep, having it sit in me. That causes little issues with the spike. It lasts longer than it should. Oh, and I only have one more glucose strip left. I forgot to order more. I didn't know what I was going to do because the system I'm using is, right now it's one called Dario. You just plug this USB device into your phone and you plug the strips into it directly. And it works very wonderful. It works beautifully. But the strips are hella expensive, and it's expensive to buy outright, and it's ridiculous expensive to buy through the subscription. So you pay for the subscription, and the app keeps track of how many strips you have left based upon how many they know you have, so they'll just send you more. But you have to pay for, I think, like a whole year's worth of service out in advance in order to get this. You get unlimited glucose strips, but it's a ripoff. Glucose strips are cheap for almost any other device out there. I wish there were other devices that connected to the phone to make this easier, but I am probably going to buy some glucose strips for my Keto Mojo once I run out. At least it's going to give me an estimated A1C reading tomorrow to tell me where it thinks my A1C is based upon my last 25 readings. So, yeah, glucose readings are going to be missing from this for a while, but that's fine. My blood pressure went up by 2 points of both systolic and diastolic evenly. Like, whoa, I mean, I was definitely more relaxed today, but not exactly relaxed when taking it. You see my heart rate was down by 11 points. And my weight, it scared the hell out of me this morning. It actually showed that I dropped by 4.1 pounds originally, and I moved my scale around. I used the second scale. I measured in multiple places around the house, did my best to make sure the floor was even. I really did lose this amount of weight. Now, I know why this is, but I didn't think I was losing that much weight for the reason for what I'm thinking. But one part of it is I have increased my fluids quite a bit. I mean, and I'm drinking whenever I feel thirsty now versus just, oh no, it's like my thirst sense was not that strong before last week, and it's kicked into overdrive recently. So I am drinking much more than normal. I went to the bathroom over 9 times yesterday. I think I went 13 times. And yeah, TMI, but hey, y'all know what y'all signed up for when y'all subscribed. But yeah, at least 11 or 12 of those times it was solid mass leaving me. I was complaining weeks ago about my body, holding on to what I was eating. I knew it was happening. It's like, it wasn't making sense. And I'm the type of person that weighs himself before and after a poop. I don't do it every time, but I do it sometimes when I suspect things. And yeah, I mean, go by that logic where you can't gain more weight than what you eat. Like, if you're only eating 2 pounds of food, you can't gain more than 2 pounds of weight unless it forces you to retain extra water or something. Even then, you're limited by the weight of the water you're drinking as well. and your body actually expends energy and uses the fluids, and just you breathe out a lot of CO2 throughout the day. So you're still going to lose weight as long as you're not taking in too much. But I was definitely gaining quite a bit, and it didn't make any sense. When I made it to 335 the last time, it's like I shot straight up by 7 to 8 pounds. And it's like I praised those probiotics at first, but they weren't happening. I don't know what's going on, but it feels like, even before I got sick, it feels like my body is starting to do cleanup duty. Feels like it's finally starting to even out. My stomach is almost feeling less bloated. It still feels a bit bloated compared to what I'm used to, but it feels like it's going to be not necessarily empty, but close to what I would consider normal for myself soon. So I'm looking forward to that if it happens. But yeah, I put that text in yellow instead of green because while this is positive weight loss, my body, my IBS, is not handling what I'm eating properly on grabbing the nutrients and, putting it out. So that is an issue. And yeah, I want that mug. I'm going to request to get that mug for Father's Day. Now, whether I get it or not, I don't know, but Father's Day isn't until June 19th. I might end up buying it for myself. That is hilarious. It's also symbolic of what my life is like. I've been living with IBS for years, for pretty much most of my life. I remember being diagnosed with it when I was in middle school, but it wasn't called IBS then. It's not what it's telling me. It's just a gastrointestinal disorder. I was given enemas and a suite of other things to do and use, and overall, most of it did not help out. So it's been a painful life. I've definitely had some days in my life where I spent more of my waking time on the toilet than not being on it. I'm very fortunate. I feel very fortunate to where my time on the toilet is much less than what it used to be, and to where I feel like I'm getting more done now. Much more done now, but I still don't feel like I'm anywhere near where a normal person should be at with this. So I'm looking forward to the day where I have this defeated, or at least under control. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless you all. Bye-bye.